Hello chess friends and welcome to Jozarov chess channel and welcome back to the Saint Louis Rapid Blitz chess tournament in 2024 that we have followed now in the last couple of days. Today it was the last day of this beautiful chess event in which we have followed first of all 9 rounds of rapid chess and then a 2-round robin of 18 rounds of blitz chess. And before the last day, the leader of this event was the top GM, of course the top favorite to win the whole thing. It was Alireza FIrouzja, and still today 9 rounds had to be played. First of all, we're starting now with an amazing gameplay by Nepomniachtchi against Alireza FIrouzja, and then at the end of the video I'm going to reveal the winner and also the last standings of this amazing chess event. So in one game of this event of the last day with the white pieces, Nepomniachtchi opened with move c4, the English opening. We have now knight to f6, so we have knight to c3. After move e5, we have now the king's English variation, and now we have the 4 knights variation after move knight to f3 and knight to c6. g3, Fianchetto style. We have now the move d5, simply opening now the center, and after c takes d5, knight to d5, bishop to g2, and bishop to c5. We have now reached this bishop to c5 line, which is I think very popular now these days. It's I think sort of a reversed Yugoslav attack style. If you're familiar maybe with the Yugoslav attack against the Dragon Sicilian, now black is playing in sort of a reversed way, trying to maybe do something like f6, bishop to e6, then queen to d7, maybe also trading off the light square bishops, maybe even if possible launch a flank attack here on this side of the board. So the position is really about equal, but I think if you're really familiar with the concepts of the Yugoslav attack and also of the accelerated or really the common Dragon Sicilian, I think this is a good setup for you. You could also reach a very similar position for both sides. So after move bishop to c5, here Nepo plays a quite provocative sideline with queen to c2, exposes his queen to the attack of the knight with the move knight to b4. But now after queen to b1, still he has of course the flexibility to play something like a3, and actually this move queen to b1 is a certain theoretical novelty move that has not been played so far in chess history. Usually queen to a4 is played, or queen to b3, maybe even retreating also to d1 is a possibility. But here queen to b1, which is of course still a solid position for white, with the opportunity then later to play a3 as we mentioned and simply kick away this knight from this side of the board. Bishop to e6, now comes this idea, knight to d5 by Alireza, and now after kingside castling, now Nepo starts to deviate from the best lines. First of all, what here Nepo did is to move knight to e4, and this move seems tempting. It's attacking of course the bishop on c5, but we have to notice the knight in the center of the board is now a little bit exposed. It's exposed especially by this possibility of the move f5. If f5 happens, then you have a tough time where to go with your knight. If you retreat again to the starting square, you have basically played with the same piece. You don't want to of course get it again back on the same square. A better choice here is actually, if you want to compete against this unpleasant bishop on c5, is to play knight to a4. Then this knight wouldn't be so exposed. In a potential line bishop to d6, you can play something like this, and if something like a5 happens, then we still have b5. If of course here b5 happens, this wouldn't be good. Then you still have the opportunities to play knight to c5, but now suddenly it gets very dangerous for black, especially on this diagonal, because of the light square bishop that's aiming of course all over the board. So now maybe in a line bishop to c5, you can still have the pressure on the b file, so still a good game I would say here of course for white. But here after kingside castling, Nepo went with knight to e4. Alireza plays now bishop to e7, good move, controlling the g5 score. He's trying now to play the move f5, d3 by Nepo. Still he has a great control of the g5 square. Even if you play now knight to f5, then still you are covered very well here with both these pieces. Still you're controlling and you're attacking the bishop on e6. But now after move d3, of course Alireza plays now the move h6, and it's not allowing any knight to g5 stuff now by white with a potential f5 move, and still the position is pretty solid. After move b4, it's an equal game. Even if you try now f5, still you have the opportunity to, as we mentioned, hop on with your knight on c5, and you're still pretty fine in the position. You still have great attacking chances. Black has to react if he wants to give up maybe this bishop or this bishop, not sure, but as I said, knight to c5 is then a liberating line for you. But after move b4, now Alireza plays a tricky a5, and this is now the critical moment of the game. Alireza notices that Nepo has a tough time to maybe jump later on with the knight on c5, so that's why he's trying to undermine the key defender of the c5 score, and it's of course the pawn on b4. And believe me or not, in move 14, pardon me now, Jan Nepomniachtchi doesn't react correctly. He plays now the bad mistake, b takes a5, and you see now the natural score for the knight on c5 is now taken. You can guess what here Alireza is doing. Alireza is playing now the move f5, and it's almost like game over here for black. You can of course retreat to d2, but it's such a passive position. You see now how Alireza FIrouzja will create a really beautiful sharp attack now after knight to d2. Let's go back. Instead of this move b takes a5, as we mentioned, knight to c5 is sort of a line that is keeping you in the game. Then after something like bishop to c8, you can play b5, and then after knight to c3, the game still gets very complicated. You take the knight here, so you still have of course the e4 square to escape, and I would say again pretty solid position. But after b takes a5, now Alireza plays f5. Nepo has to now retreat to d2, and now knight to c3. Look at this, the knight is coming in such a spectacular way into the game. The pawn on e2 is hanging. Nepo has to now take out also the pawn on b7, but actually he gets trapped here really by the beautiful attack by Alireza. Here we have knight takes e2, first of all with the check, king to h1, and now bishop to d5. The queen is trapped here. The queen doesn't have any good escape scores. What should you do? If you play here queen to b1, if you try to escape, then rook to b8, then you have to step back. Then this knight is coming. Look at this. You have to takes. Then you go somewhere here. We continue the attacking flow. Although maybe white is surviving attack, but here the piece activity of black is simply too powerful. The coordination of black's pieces is much better. Black has still also this expansion on the king side, can of course continue simply the pressure with f4, e4 if necessary. So powerful position it would be here for black for sure. Very tough to play for white. But here Nepo plays even another blunder with rook to e1. He goes for the knight, and Alireza says, thank you, you didn't retreat with your queen. You had your chance with queen to b2, queen to b1, and now Alireza with the move knight to b4 traps the queen. Even if you try here queen to b5, this wouldn't be good because you get this one, knight to c3, and now the queen doesn't have really good squares. You have to give it up for a minor piece here, and it would be game over. But Nepo tried queen takes d5, giving up the queen for two minor pieces here, hopes to get the best out of this position, but I think we can agree this is a completely winning position now, finally for black. So it was simply better in the beginning for Nepo to retreat, but Alireza played really an aggressive line, very tough to defend because of this first b takes a5 mistake by Nepo in the first place. After rook to e2, here Alireza regroups, simply plays now the natural moves, knight to e5. Okay, we have lost a pawn, but now knight to c3, attacking the rook. We have now rook to e1, bishop takes, rook takes e5, and now Alireza takes even this weak pawn on d3. Actually, Alireza is hoping probably that maybe Nepo is getting the bishop here for the rook, because we can agree the light square bishop was still the best minor piece on the board, and now you got rid of it for the exchange, perfectly fine, because maybe the last chance for Nepo is somehow with the bishop pushing these pawns further. And the good part is of course that the bishop on g2 is controlling the ax square, so at least you have some kind of a chance. But here of course Nepo is not taking, plays now knight to f3. Now Alireza cements his knight and also attacks the f2 weakness. We have now bishop to e3. Alireza pushes now the passer, gets attacked by the bishop, but who cares? Black is of course a completely winning position, simply plays now simple moves. You don't have to even calculate so much now in this position. Knight is fixed, rooks are well placed. This passer is of course also a beautiful strategic element for an endgame, so good position of course for black. Rook to c1, Alireza takes another pawn, you see the position is really collapsing here for for white. King to h7, bishop to c4, attacking again the bishop, again also attacking the rook. Rook drops back, and again Alireza is hoping maybe to get finally the light bishop off the board, because it's actually again the best piece. But here Nepo retreats, Alireza pushes the pawn for a really simple threat idea. Nothing to play anymore here for Jan Nepomniachtchi. But okay, Jan is battling. This is a blitz format. Why not? Bishop to c2, queen to a3, rook to e6, and now rook to e8 forces now the trades of rooks. Now Alireza has simplified the game till the end, and I think white cannot even create simple threats now. Who knows? Maybe something like g4, g6, but really a bad position here. Knight to d4, Alireza plays knight to d6, rook to b1, rook attacks the knight, and now here Nepo is trying to battle with rook to b6, queen to a2, we have bishop to b1, queen to a8, discovered attacks are possible here, so that's why Nepo has to play king to g1, Alireza plays queen to d8, now the rook comes here, Alireza attacks again the rook, rook drops back, and now knight to e4, again not allowing any dangerous stuff with this very powerful bishop on b1. So again, Alireza has tiny little problems with the bishop, but Nepo cannot do anything anyway here. So bishop to e4, he gives up now the bishop for a knight, knight to e2, and now check. The queen comes here, threatening of course some dangerous like queen to f3, knight to g1 controls the f3 square, and now here Alireza plays queen to c8, wants of course to maybe try a different attack, maybe get the queen also somehow on the first rank. Knight to e2, now the pawn is pushed further, rook to b3, queen to c4, and in this particular position Jan Nepomniachtchi resigned. There's simply nothing that can be done. If you retreat, then you get here, and it's again game over here for white. So incredible game by Alireza FIrouzja. Tricky stuff with this idea with the move a5, undermining here the space that white gained in the beginning. Nepo didn't react correctly, had to play the move knight to c5 in order to keep him somehow in the game, and afterwards it was just pure technique by Alireza FIrouzja, and he had a deserved win against Jan Nepomniachtchi. This win was of course very important, because Jan Nepomniachtchi was one of the players that were in the lead after the first 2 days, and in 27 games they played in this Rapid and Blitz section. We have to mention Alireza FIrouzja is now the deserved winner of the Saint Louis Rapid and Blitz chess tournament in 2024 with a clear result, I would say. Look at this, Alireza FIrouzja 23 points. Vasily So, which is also a great thing, finished on the second place. I'm really glad that Vasily played again a beautiful tournament. He was always one of my favorite GMs, but Alireza played really great chess, especially against Vasily So, gained 2 wins in this event against Vasily. Especially look at this, how in the direct duel against Vasily he outplayed him and gained a huge gap. Hikaru Nakamura finally finished also on the 3rd place. Hikaru played a bad 2 first days. In the 3rd day he was much better and has also deserved place on the throne. We have here Levan Aronyan, also great result, I would say. 4th place, Maxim Vachier-Lagrave, always a pleasure to watch, of course. Fabiano Caruana, we know Fabi is always better in this slower time formats where we basically cannot beat Fabiano Caruana in classical time format chess. And now Jan Nepomniachtchi, I think, could be really unsatisfied with his result, because he was one of the players who I considered could win the whole thing, and he messed up many things in the 3rd day. What Nodirbek Abdusatorov and Praggnanandhaa probably are not satisfied with their result, because they are of course the most talented players of their generation, but in this faster time formats you have to always play a great attacking chess. Unfortunately for them, it didn't work in this event. And of course also congratulations for Dominguez Perez Liner, also for a great result. Still 15 points he gained in this event, so really tough tournament of course for all of the players. So okay, let's congratulate again Alireza FIrouzja. We have to say, deserved winner, played simply the best chess. What I like the most, he played the sharpest chess. He played the most aggressive chess. We have seen great theoretical novelties by Alireza FIrouzja, especially in the game in the Italian Opening. Please check it out. It's an amazing attack that Alireza performed against Vasily So with a beautiful, beautiful theoretical novelty with really nice piece sacrifice method. So great, great games we have seen by Alireza for sure. So, okay, I hope that you enjoyed this event. I really enjoyed it a lot. Interesting ideas here we have seen also in the English opening. If you want to see some other games that we have covered so far in the event, check out our analysis. Here are some links of some games that we have analyzed before, and please don't miss this game played by Alireza with his amazing theoretical novelty against Vasily So. And if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.